Good morning students. Let's start with chapter Agriculture. In this video, I am going to explain you major food crops of India such as rice, wheat, pulses and millets. Geographical conditions of these food crops we will discuss here. Method of cultivation, harvesting and processing. So let's start with the very first food crop, rice. As we know, rice is considered as a kharif crop. Rice is mainly cultivated during summer season because of suitable temperature condition that we will discuss under geographical conditions. India is the second largest producer of rice in the world after China. Now, under geographical conditions, we will learn about what kind of temperature, rainfall and soil are required by rice. Temperature. During early growing stages, it requires temperature ranging between 16 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius. Ripening stage. 18 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius. Bright sunshine and water is essential during the ripening stage. Next, rainfall requirement for this crop. Rice require 150 centimeter to 300 centimeter rainfall. And if we want to grow rice, especially in areas receives less rainfall, so it is necessary that area that should be well endowed or that should be well developed with irrigation system. Better irrigation system should be there in those areas where less rainfall occur. In that condition, we can grow rice. Rice require alluvial soil with subsoil of impervious clay. As we know, impervious word, that particular soil do not allow the water seeps down. As a result, the water will not be able to seep down, percolate. So water will be stagnant. So stagnant water, that is the ideal condition for the growth of the rice. So as we know, impervious clay that do not allow water to seep down. As a result, the water becomes stagnant in the fields, which is good for the growth of rice. Next is method of cultivation. How we used to cultivate rice. The first one is sowing. The seeds are sown in different ways. There are 3 different ways by which we used to sow the seeds. The first one is broadcasting method. Now, what is broadcasting? Broadcasting means the sowing of seeds by hand. So, it's totally a manual method. Dibbling. Dibbling means first we used to make the furrows in the field and then we used to drop the seeds at regular interval. This type of method is common in northern plains. Next, drilling. Under this method, seed drill is used for sowing seeds. Seed drill is tied to the back of the plow and seeds are put into the funnel of the seed drills. Now, so here we can say it is a time consuming method. It's a capital intensive technique, means more labor, more money is required. Whereas the advantage of drilling method, there is no wastage of seed. So, 2 work simultaneously going on. The one is that with the help of seed drill, when we when we attach the seed drill to the plow. So, plow, with the help of plow we are making the furrows and plow will make furrows side by side. What seed drill will do? Seed drill will drop the seeds in those furrows. So these are the 3 methods of sowing. Next is transplantation. transplantation is very important part. Now what we used to do in this method, transplantation, first we used to sow the seeds in the nursery so that the seeds will turn into seedlings, because direct sunshine, direct sunlight, as well as early or pre-monsoon shower is very harmful for the seedlings. That's why first we used to sow the seeds in nursery so that the seeds will be protected from the direct sunlight as well as from pre-monsoon shower. Seeds will turn into seedlings, and after a period of time we used to transplant or transfer those seedlings to the regular field. So this process of transferring the seedlings from the nursery to the main field is called transplantation. Harvesting. Harvesting means cutting down of mature crop. Harvesting is carried out by hand or by machine. When the crop becomes mature, this crop, especially rice, is harvested with scythe. Scythe is the name of the tool. With the help of this scythe tool, we used to cut down the crop. And after cutting down the crop, we used to spread the crop in the field for 3 to 4 days so that the crop will become dry. Next is processing. Now processing is the last stage. Under the processing, what is the first step? To separate the grain from the husk. So under processing, grains are separated from the husk. Husk is the outer part of the rice. You have seen the brown part of the rice. Rice is a white grain and the outer part is called husk, which is brown in color. So the separation of grain from the husk is the main part of processing. And when we used to remove the grain from husk, later on those grains are polished so that those grains will look attractive and the quality of those grains will be improved. Next is wheat. Wheat is the second most important food crop. It is the staple food of India. What is the temperature requirement? Ideal temperature is 10 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius during growing season. As we know, wheat is a rabi crop and cool temperature is the ideal temperature condition. And during the time of ripening, when the crop gets mature, what kind of temperature it requires? 25 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius. And the rainfall requirement 50 centimeter to 100 centimeter. As we know, during winter less rainfall occurs and that rainfall is good for the growth of wheat. So we can grow wheat especially in the areas with less than 40 centimeter of rainfall. But there should be a well-developed irrigation system. Then only we can grow wheat in areas receives less than 40 centimeter of rainfall. And we know during winter time western disturbances occur in Mediterranean Sea, and these western disturbances or temperate cyclones pushed by jet streams toward northwest part of India, especially Punjab, Haryana, receives winter rainfall around 50 centimeter to 100 centimeter, which is suitable for rabi crop like wheat. And the soil requirement, well drained fertile soil, clay loamy soil of Ganga plain means northern part, and in southern part black soil is suitable for the growth of wheat. Method of cultivation. As we have discussed in the previous slide, sowing of rice, that three methods are used for sowing: broadcasting, dibbling, drilling. All three methods are same under wheat also. So we have to write the same method of sowing here also. Wheat is a rabi crop and which is sown in the beginning of winter. and sowing normally begins in September and lasts till November. And what is the harvesting time when we used to cut the crop? December, January, February, these are the month of growth when the crops become mature. Wheat is harvested cut down during April, middle of May. And harvesting of this crop is done by 3 methods. The one is manual harvesting, next is mechanized. Mechanized means in this method crop is cut manually, but threshing. Threshing means to remove the outer part, means husk from the grain. Separation of grain from the outer part, that is called threshing. That is done by thresher. So thresher is a machine, so that is used here. Last is combine. Combine is a machine which can do harvesting as well as threshing. Hope you have heard about combine harvesters. Now next important is millets. Millets. Millets are basically, these are dry crops. Jowar, bajra, ragi, these millets grown in India. Millet is common name for several species of the grass family, and grain is used as food by human being, while the leaves and stalk are used as fodder for livestock. Fodder means that is animal food. So we can say jowar, bajra, ragi. These are millets. These are dry crops. Why these are considered as a dry crops? Because these crops require less water. That's why these are considered as a dry crop. And another important thing, that these crops can be used by human as well as animals. If human are using these crops, so these are considered as a food crop. If animal, means the leaves of these crop stalks are used by animals, so these crops are considered as a fodder crop for animals. Now what are the geographical requirements? 18 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius is the ideal temperature. Rainfall 50 centimeter to 120 centimeter. Soil red loamy alluvial soil, but black clay loamy of the peninsula are the best. Bajra, for bajra poor light sandy soil is suitable. For ragi alluvial loam and red or black soil is suitable. Processing will be same here. Method of sowing like broadcasting, dibbling, drilling for millet and pulses are same. Next is pulses. Pulses include a number of crops like chana, tur, masoor, urad, moong, peas. These are pulses. And pulses, that makes a complete diet. Pulses are very important. Pulses are considered as a leguminous crop. When we used to grow other crops like rice, wheat, so along with rice and wheat, we used to grow the pulses also, because these are leguminous crops that increases the fertility of the soil due to the presence of rhizobium bacteria in the nodules. Now, good source of protein is the one important advantage of pulses. What are the geographical requirements? Soil. What is the ideal soil? And it's very important to understand that pulses are cultivated in any type of soil. All type of soil like alluvial, laterite, black, loamy, clay or red, all type of soil that is suitable for pulses. Rainfall 50 centimeter to 25 centimeter. So instead of this we can say 25 centimeter to 50 centimeter. Temperature 20 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. This crop gets mature in 4 to 5 months. The plants are pulled out when the leaves become dry and begin to shed, and they are dried for about a week and then threshed by trampling under the feet of bullocks or beating with stick. Thank you students. Have a nice day.